This skincare company makes more than 360 crores in annual revenue and has taken India's entire beauty industry by storm in just 3 freaking years. Minimalist is a new age desi profitable startup that is on its way to disrupt India's 16,000 crore skincare market. But what makes this startup super interesting is the fact that they made 100 crores in just 8 months of inception by creating a loyal fan base all across the country. So what are the interesting insights that work for Minimalist, and why is beauty and personal care a super hot industry right now? We'll get into that, but if you're new to the channel, then hello, you've landed at GrowthX, an invite-only community of over 3,000 members who are product, marketing and business leaders and also founders from the startup ecosystem. Coming back to Minimalist. See, Minimalist was started by two brothers, Mohit and Rahul Yadav. Both of them are serial entrepreneurs who have tried their hands in entrepreneurship together more than once and had seen some ups but also some great downs of starting up. They had built and sold one kids fashion company called Mango Street back in 2012, worked at startups like Car Dekho in senior roles to scale the company, and also started a beauty and personal care brand called Freewell in 2017. This again, by the way, was interesting because they were doing something very few people were focusing on, serving custom hair solutions as per problem of different customers. This did not work out really well, but helped them spot a great opportunity in India's interesting beauty and personal care market. And let's get down to some context. See, India's BPC market is going through a very interesting time right now. India is seeing the fastest expected growth rate of 10% among all the countries that you see on the chart here, and is expected to reach a $30 billion mark by 2030 from $20 billion mark to where it is today. It's so huge that it can literally be broken down into 10 categories, and Minimalist could have entered any of these. You have bath, skincare, hair care, oral care, cosmetics, and so much more that you see right now. But the top 3 categories, however, have been bath and shower, hair care, and skincare categories. And Yadav brothers wanted to come after the skincare category first, and that too in a completely unique way that had never been done before, by entering the category of active ingredients. Which brings me to the very first insight, the insight of category creation. But what are active ingredients really? In a nutshell, these are the skincare chemicals like these that are used to solve specific skincare problems like wrinkles, dryness, smoothness, etc. And Minimalist was the first brand in India to go after this category. And it's not as if these chemicals were not present in other products around us. Most of the products you and I have used have a mix of both active ingredients and inactive ingredients. By the way, inactive ingredients are the chemicals that are used to improve the performance of active ingredients in a particular product. But selling active ingredients alone was not something any major brand was doing at the time. Why? Because these products require a certain discipline and effort on skincare from the user's end. These customers are a very serious cohort of users who need to follow a certain routine and might even have to apply another cream the next day if needed. And they might even have to take a recommendation from a dermatologist in many cases. Earlier on, people would buy creams only as per 3 criteria. One is easy accessibility, which means buying on the basis of known brand names like L'Oreal and Unilever. Second, buying on the basis of gimmicky claims like natural, Ayurveda, etc. Which, by the way, most brands write just for the sake of it and are using chemicals inside. And third, insecurity. Probably the reason why fairness creams have done so well in the country historically. In fact, Fair & Lovely was one of the hottest selling products for HUL for quite a long time. But Yadav brothers saw that Indians were transitioning rapidly, and so was the need. But before we discuss the transition, just like all other founders and leaders out there, I'm sure that Yadav brothers also face the painful problem of building a solid growth team that drives revenue impact. Founders struggle to hire, they want guidance, and they have absolutely no structure to solving one of the costliest business decisions you can ever take. Which is why we have built the craft of building growth teams. Over the course of this craft, you learn how to solve the 5 biggest problems founders and leaders face. Starting with attracting bar raiser growth talent and making sure that the best are on your side. Second, making sure that your team never has a motivation problem. You learn how to prioritize whom to hire and never ever overhire again. You'll get a playbook to filter talent that actually performs on the job and not just in interviews. And finally, ensure that your hires are creating impact without the need of handholding. By the way, global giants like Facebook, Slack, Uber, and even Indian disruptors like Razorpay, Flipkart, and Zomato have been known for building massively impactful growth teams. Now you can build yours too. The link to check out the craft is in the description, and of course, it's part of the GrowthX membership. Coming back to the transition. See, as India's disposable income rose in the last decade, more people wanted to upgrade in their life. In fact, India's middle class, that is the people who earn somewhere between 5 to 30 lakh per annum, will go from 31% to 47% from 2020 to 2030 as per the research by Price 360. And each of these income classes have been decided on the basis of different annual incomes that you can see on the screen. So while this progress is happening, customers have started to solve problems by actually knowing what they are putting on their skins. It's pretty much similar to how we have started becoming more conscious and started reading label on packs. In fact, skincare has now become popular among males too. Minimalist went bullish on this new India by selling the scientific angle of cosmetics along with educating customers, telling the active ingredient as is in the boring medical looking packaging. In fact, they literally put out all the details in front of the pack for users. So let's say you are buying a vitamin C serum, you would also know the concentration or how powerful that particular ingredient is in the pack. For context, when they did this was a successful customer trend already in the West. A Canadian brand known as The Ordinary, founded in 2016, had already made this entire angle of talking about science and skincare popular and cool. Timing also helped them because L'Oreal also tried entering this category in 2016 and 17 with these two products, but had to withdraw due to limited customer awareness. Which brings me to the next interesting insight is how they crack trust. See, in a category like this, the competition is super intensive. In fact, in the last 5 years, many new brands like Foxtail, Deconstruct, Pilgrim, and Dermaco, which is a brand by Mamaearth by the way, have also popped up. Even the Western giant, The Ordinary that we talked about, has entered into India. The game is intensifying. Everyone is super bullish on India's beauty and personal care. So much so that out of $1.4 billion flown into D2C brands in India between 2014 to 2020, 54% of that went to beauty and fashion segment. So now customers have a lot of choices. So the only moat a company has in the long run is to crack repeat rates from the loyal customers. This is where Minimalist has done a really great job because they have cracked a high repeat rate of 60%. For this, they have actually cracked the insane product depth. How? Well, while most of the D2C brands, including Mamaearth even, rely on third-party manufacturers, they have taken the high capex call of moving the production in-house. This vertical integration again has taken a hit on the balance sheet since they need to own plants and machines. But they have done this since they are very confident of their product and want to control everything so well that there is no room for mistake. And probably Rahul's chemical engineering degree of understanding formulation must have helped the brothers. In fact, they are planning to get another plant in Jaipur that will take their capacity 5 times of what it is today. This high capital part is probably also the part where funding they receive from Sequoia and Unilever Ventures must have helped them. This same philosophy of quality also applies to their sourcing. Their sourcing being 40% to 50% more expensive than most beauty brands out there. This makes their cost of goods sold, which is the cost of obtaining raw materials, more expensive. But this is a deliberate strategy they took because they want to invest high amount in making sure that the product is good so they don't have to invest more in selling the product. The idea is simple. Nail the product with the highest quality, invest in making the product and sacrificing gross margin, generate aggressively happy customers who will do a lot of word of mouth for you, spend less on marketing, and make a highly profitable business in long run. So while most brands in the category spend 40 to 50% on marketing, they just spend around 25%. And just imagine it, right? You hear a great review of Minimalist from your friend. You later saw the ad on Instagram and you want to start taking your skincare seriously. You would definitely at least consider checking the brand out. This positive sentiment makes the capex investment way better than high performance marketing expenses. Also, they've done a stellar job on educating customers on their website, which again has made their customers fall in love with them. They make sure that customers are educated and remove the intimidation factor from this complicated skincare. But while all this solves for great product and building trust with the consumer, you also have to solve for access. Which brings me to the next insight of access. Look, you can have the best product in the world, but it still might not work out if you don't know what customer segment or channels you're going after. Minimalist has done both very interestingly. On the customer segmentation, they have made their products affordable. For context, their best-selling products range from 200 to 600 rupees. For better understanding, we even took a list of about 10 to 15 brands and compared them on the basis of price of one single product. And this is the pyramid that we got. And you can see that Minimalist is coming at the bottom mass segment of this pyramid. They want to become a brand that everyone can use without getting intimidated by the price too. And you can tie this back to the income pyramid point that we discussed sometime back on the middle class. Go for a bigger market and remove the intimidation both in terms of price and information, and deliver the best value for money product that India needs. This can be a great insight for any new business out there that are planning to disrupt a new category altogether. And on the channel side, the interesting thing that they have cracked and are aggressively working on is going for the non-desi markets. They don't just want to be an Indian company because they're confident that their products are at the highest international level, and they also have some distinction when compared to other international brands. For example, few of the products that they have are very rare combination of active ingredients that even the international brand that we spoke about, The Ordinary, does not have, and vice versa. And to further spread their wings into this strategy, they have now penetrated 3 categories: skincare, body care, and even hair care now, and have expanded their product range, now have roughly 50 products at the moment. This can be a big game changer, as so far 10% of the sales are coming from the international markets. They're already in UK, US, Gulf countries, and even Southeast Asia. So even the 1 to 10 journey that they are going for looks very interesting, and it will be great to see how things turn out for them. And now you must be wondering that we did not talk about physical stores throughout the video. So what's their game plan there? Well, they have a strategy for that too. They plan to open 100 EBOs, which are exclusive business outlets. Exclusive business outlets, by the way, are those stores that are owned and operated by the brand itself and are not worked as franchisees. They plan to open these stores next year, and they're going for EBOs because they don't want their products to be just another product on the shelves of big supermarkets. They want to educate their customers even in the physical setting. A great idea to stick with the philosophy they started with and to go with the tagline they have: hide nothing. So these were the 3 insights that the Minimalist used to become a successful D2C startup that makes more than 360 crores in annual revenue. If you like this video, you will love the last video we did on Blue Smart. I will see you in the next one. Ciao.